Welcome, everyone, to the Whovians cast, episode 954. I am your host, Matrix1212, and I am with Scott. What's up, Scott?
Hello. Hopefully, y'all can stay on before the time is up.
What's up, Philip?
Hey there.
What's up, Connor?
Hello.
So, Black Hole Masters. Now, here's the thing I want to talk about. That whole David Bradley as the first Doctor is not appearing?
Yes, he is appearing.
He is appearing. Susan's appearing?
Don't know about her.
I don't think so.
And other Masters are appearing?
Yeah.
It's alluded to.
Alluded to. Like 4? 3? I mean, another 1 or 2?
More than 4.
More than 4. In the finale.
Maybe not in the finale throughout the whole series.
I think they're peppered throughout the season. Various images or flashbacks of Masters or actual physical ones.
So somebody's playing Roger Delgado's Master.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we got Jeffrey Purvis.
Jeffrey Beavers.
Jeffrey Beavers is.
So basically, Jeffrey Beavers and Peter Pratt are the same. They're just
no, one died though. Didn't the other guy die?
Yeah, Pratt's dead.
Yeah, Pratt's dead.
Yeah, what a Pratt.
Okay, so Jeffrey Beavers is going to be in it?
Yeah.
That's not. We don't know that. We don't know that.
The Big Finish Master? No.
He's still alive.
No, I know he's alive, but he's not in it.
Don't know about that.
We don't know.
Isn't Big Finish not canon?
It is to a certain level. It is to a certain level.
Certain level.
Yeah.
So we're going to probably see Masters we've never seen.
Yeah.
But not that they're going to be Masters, they're going to be one episode Master and then they're regenerated.
It depends how they play this out with the Master situation. I don't know how they're playing it out.
Does Misty get pissed off at her past selves and she causes them all to regenerate?
Yeah. Oh, you know what though? Going back to Christmas. I mean, compulsory regeneration. Didn't Moffat say today or yesterday that
the whole redemption shit?
The regeneration won't be in a straightforward affair. It won't be a straightforward affair.
Yeah.
He said that.
So it's not. It's not going to be like, oh my god, I don't have enough energy to regenerate.
No, I think it's referring to a Tom Baker sort of situation where Nardole is the Watcher.
Come on.
And he's the energy. He's going
to merge with him.
Yeah.
Remember, he's not gonna look like Nardole. Nardole's just a template. He's gonna have a different face once Nardole merges with him.
So wait, he's gonna merge with the best of Nardole, and he's just gonna become a new person. But he's gonna be the Doctor.
That doesn't make sense. But that doesn't make sense though, because remember, the other day when you talked about Nardole being part machine, that doesn't make sense to me.
But no, is that the joke that he did in the Christmas special? I am the Doctor. Is that what he was joking about?
Who knows?
He can't merge with a companion. That would be shitty.
It's
really?
Like having a what's it called? A life jacket, just in case you.
But they said in the Legabo's thing, but he was the Doctor all along.
Yeah. They're not going to ruin the Watcher thing with Nardole, are they, Connor?
No, it's probably going to be Adric.
They're not going to repeat that shit.
Yeah.
See, my thing, I have a very different vision of the Watcher compared to what I guess they tried to explain recently. My thought was that the Watcher was the last incarnation of the Doctor, and that when the Master looked decrepit, that was his last regeneration, but because he's with the light, let's say he's the agent of the light, good guy, but he's supposed to look like holy and weird like that. That was my thing, and that when he regenerated into the Doctor, the only memory that was retained of all the future events that he really wanted to be altered was the Time War. So he kind of put something in his subconsciousness where he regenerated back into himself, and that one event would change, which would also change the whole entire future. That's what I always envisioned. I mean, not always. I always envisioned that he was the last incarnation of Doctor, but as the Time War thing came on, when Doctor Who came back, I figured that's what it was. That, he had that knowledge. Now, as far as the Valeyard goes, as far as I know, according to the trial of the Valeyard, which is an audio, that the Time Lords basically cooked up the Valyard from Doctor DNA and whatever, and he wasn't really the Doctor, which I really don't like that. I kind of like the idea that
There's
no
an
matter
amalgamation of
what
Star
you
Cast,
do,
something of an onslaught type setup.
yeah, I kind of like the idea of no matter what you effing do, you're gonna be this evil bastard. That's the whole point that I really thought what the God complex was, is that he saw himself regenerating into the Valyard, and the TARDIS got scared, and that's why the cloister bells were going off, because he's like, oh yeah, that's it. Meaning there was no cracks thing, because Moffat, that's bullshit. Moffat did not have that as an idea in the God complex. Neither did the person who wrote the God complex, that it was the cracks. It was to do with the Valyard. Because he says, oh, no matter what's happening with me shot by an astronaut or whatever, that's still going to happen. The Valyard. That's right. Now I remember. Yes, of course it is my worst fear. So, you know, this whole thing, I mean, and he also mentioned
that he was going to turn into a woman. And
he didn't want to be a woman. I mean, if you remember, the Doctor's like, oh, I don't want to be a woman.
What if Sim's regenerating into a woman is a Time Lord punishment? And that's why.
But that could have been. I mean, I would think that he became the woman to throw the Doctor off. That's what I think purposely.
Okay.
Just for spite. Just I get so many regenerations anyway. Let me just turn into a woman. But this whole thing about it's not going to be a smooth regeneration. So could it be that there's not enough regeneration energy to complete the task?
Well, he did use it up on Davros and his Daleks, so there you go.
so you have to use. So the first Doctor probably kicks it or helps him.
Ooh.
But I mean, if he gives that regeneration to someone, then wouldn't he be able to have another regeneration to start?
Because remember, he was weak. The first Doctor was weak when he was inside that ship. So what if that's when he encountered the 12th Doctor? That some of his regenerative
He got
energy-
hurt. He probably tried to save Capaldi's Doctor and got hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
And then he just
That's why
started the adventure. He put back into time. The companions didn't know he was hurt, and he was just old. And then he just was like passing out and whatever, and the body's wearing thin. But meanwhile, he don't remember because he's taken out of time, so he won't remember the memory until he gets caught up with Capaldi's time. Connie there? We lost Connor again.
He got kicked again.
Oh, we lost him again. Oh. There's a little tweet that says that John Sim CV says various directors for his returning Doctor Who. Hopefully that means multiple episodes for Sim's master.
So could it be possible that they don't show Sim regenerate, that he appears with the 13th Doctor? Like just
unless they're talking about the run of season 10 and not season 11.
Connie, you there? I'm away from the keyboard. Okay. I mean, I just there's so much though. To throw all these masters in it, and the finale, and the Mondasian Cybermen, and then it's just like, are you gonna go into Christmas and there's no bodies on the floor? So like Bill was dead, and Arnold's dead, and it's like, yeah, all right, now I'm gonna be miserable for Christmas. It's like, this is why I think that I would be comfortable if they stopped the Christmas specials.
Yes.
Because it's starting to like not fit into the routine of Doctor Who, where stuff happens and then they just got to be nicey for a Christmas special. I mean, if it's going to be like that, do a Halloween special, do whatever. Let's do it where we have to have a special, but it doesn't have to be a Christmas special. Mm-hmm. And if we do a special, my take on it is, how about we do a Christmas special where it has nothing to do with our Doctor at all? Give a special to McGann. Give a special to Matt Smith. Do an adventure that kind of fills in the gaps. What would it be? So what? I mean, give a thing with Matt Smith where he encounters Craig again. It'll be the third trilogy thing with the Sea Devils that they were talking about. Or do a thing with David Tennant. Maybe he encounters Lady Christina Del Souza and then you find out that was Romana, which they had alluded to. Russell T. Davies said that if he was not going to, if he was going to stay the Doctor, she was going to be the companion, Lady Christina Del Souza from Planet of the Dead, and she was Romana. That's why they kept alluding to them having some type of relationship, that they've had before. So they could always just, it doesn't. There's no rules. I mean, this Moffat thing is crap. Moffat's gone. They don't have to be the Moffat way. It could be, let's just do a special on Paul McGann. For the fans, people wouldn't be against that if you did a Christmas special or Matt Smith or so what? So are you?
Yeah,
first of all, are we worried?
It could be a one-off adventure, and like you said, it doesn't have to be at Christmas every single time. It could be a New Year's, it could be another Easter, it could be a Halloween.
But is their argument that they don't want to confuse the fans? Well, you certainly confused the shit out of the fans when you made a doctor between 8 and 9. So who gives a fuck at this point?
Yeah, that's true.
Do it. That's my argument. You confused the shit out of people already, where they're trying to figure out. Wait a minute, the regeneration energy from Stolen Earth counted as a full regeneration, even though we didn't use it, which I never counted that, by the way. To this day, still, I don't count that. So something else. Is because it has to have regeneration energy in Angels Take Manhattan.
I hate saying this. What if the John Hurt doctor is actually from the Supergirl universe?
My whole thing is that regeneration from the Sisterhood of Karn was an actual regeneration extra, because it was always meant to be 8, 9. They give that potion. It was a different regeneration, but then the 9th one's always meant to be. So it was just an extra regeneration added that they should explain, because then you can explain away the regeneration energy for River and Angels Take Manhattan. I mean, he shouldn't have any. Or
maybe he's an offshoot. Maybe he's like just like his Valyard. What if the John Hurt War Doctor was just another offshoot of one of his personalities?
You know what it is? I don't know.
Because they
could always explain.
Well,
no, it wasn't his. No, it was an altered, constructed. It wasn't even him. It was an altered, constructed, specific regeneration potion that made him that way particularly. Like it's not supposed to be set like that. It's supposed to be random. So the whole point is that's why you don't consider him a doctor, because the regeneration thing was interfered with. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a natural 8 into 9, because 9 always happens. You know. So that's the whole thing, and Moffat almost undid that, like erased that from happening, because his friends were on his case. Look, they could do specials with other doctors, and it would work, and I wouldn't have a problem with it. They could do a special.
Fans wouldn't have a problem with it.
Do you imagine if they went to Christopher Eccleston, right, and they said, "Listen, could you do a special for us with John Barrowman and filling in the gaps of John Barrowman's history as Captain Jack? Remember, he had a year or 2 of his life taken away.
Joy.
And he would do it because there was a time when he traveled without Rose. He dropped off at a concert or something, and he went to buy her a bicycle when she was 6 or something. If you remember the doctor, like he just went there and he gave her a red bicycle, whatever it was. But it's the thing where he would definitely do it as long as it wasn't the politics of them making him something he's not.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. There's a good a holiday special or one-off special.
That is a true special because it's not the doctor we're used to. So it's a special event where a doctor would not expect.
Okay, if they're going to, here we go. If they're going to take a year off, if they're actually going to say they're going to do a year off again, then that's when you stick the that special episode in that year off, or have it saying this is what happened during that year in which we were off. This doctor here did this stuff.
And you know what I would even do? I wouldn't even have that the showrunner was controlling the special. The special could be a thing for talent, or it could be a way for Russell T. Davies to just pop in. It doesn't affect the Doctor Who continuity. They could say it happened between this and this, and this is an adventure with David Tennant, this is an adventure with Matt Smith, this is maybe another adventure with Capaldi. If Moffat ever wanted to come back, just call the Capaldi adventure, and just it not be a monumental episode that dramatically changes the timeline or whatever. It's just a regular episode. Maybe it's important, maybe it's big, it doesn't change the timeline, and boom, it can be for a talent to write an episode about a past doctor. Paul McGann, you can give him a whole bunch of specials.
Yeah, like they say with Big Finish, new stories, old doctors. And that's what they could do with these specials.
Like if Doctor Who was going to be off the air for a year, I'd say give a whole bunch of specials to Paul McGann and explain his whole thing out. And that's what I would do. Explain the whole thing. Give him a whole season or 2. And you know what? That would be great. Because at least we could say, yes, we have a complete set of Paul McGann's adventures as the Doctor.
because that's why I say with Big Finish, what they should do with all these doctors is each month the subscribers will get, of course, both of them, but take the adventure, make an animated adventure of that adventure, and that way, I know Big Finish is purely audio, but still make an animated adventure of that adventure as well,
Right.
and that way Paul McGann will have more than just the '96 movie. And by this way, Paul McGann, if they do that little special thing, personally, I think Paul McGann should be the first person they start with.
Absolutely.
Because he was sort of gypped by having the '96 movie.
I agree.
'96 movie, because there was 3, if I remember right, planned. But have him be the first, have Eccleston be the second, and then pick one of the other doctors, other actors to do one of those middle, the next 2 or 3 or 4.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here because I think we lost Philip and I think we lost Connor. So take care. Bye for now.